Hey everybody, good morning. It's Marty the JavaScript party. My buddy Rhett. Here's a nut. It is 7:53 a.m. on June 26th. And it has been hot around here. I think it's supposed to cool down today. It looks like we have some rain coming in this afternoon. And I think the moon is starting to show up again. So there is that. So I had come into, what I was working on was delete, and we got delete working. But once we got delete working, we ended up with some situations that had never existed before. And and so we've been sort of taking them on one by one. See, so now there's that. But we ran into one of the early requirements of this application was for it to reflow when the screen resizes. And that that requirement has been broken now. But the problem is another requirement that I have is once it's been set, it should stay where it's at. So I had two literally the exact opposite requirements for this application, and that happens all of the time. And so let me see. I just want to see if that's working. That it is. Yeah. So it brings it over to the new one. So I realized, well, yeah, because there are some situations where I want it to auto resize for me when I'm showing things. And that used to happen all the time with my last application. So towards the end, I could actually make some fairly interesting um, visualizations that were really, really like you kind of wanted to take a good close look at them. And when I'd go to resize, I would just have this, it would all just stay as is. So resizing is important, especially if we're trying to demonstrate something, but resizing or reflowing, but reflowing is not important when we're doing editing, stuff like that. We really want it to stay wherever we put it. So I added this state, reflow, and you can either turn it on or off. And the general idea is that whenever this is set to true, then we reflow. But if it's set to false, we don't, right? So, and then we check and all that. So basically, for now, I decided to make it reflow off. I guess as far as testing goes, maybe it'd be better to have it reflow true, because that's going to be like kind of the first piece that I get working, and I would like to get it working as is. So I believe I can, the intention was that if I change this to always, I guess it's always and never. Oh, reflow type, resize. Okay, so I think I wanted to change that to always. So let's go ahead and fix that. Definition. This is actually probably going to cause another set of little, small, easy to fix bugs that would have been a nightmare in past times. But now the TypeScript compiler just finds it everywhere. I think it might miss okay, so if it's never, make it always, otherwise make it never. Does that fix everything? Or was there something in the... Oh, and it caught it. That's cool. So now it should be checked by default. Yeah. Okay, so now our default state is to always reflow. And then, so that's a flag that we can look at. So I believe it's in the animation module that we do resizing. And right now we've like sort of rolled our own resized collision next available sort of logic, but I think we will want to, I was thinking about it, it seems like adding Canon JS so I can leverage its collision detection might be worthwhile. Okay, so here's where we actually set it. Okay, but we actually, and I think it's already, no, it's not setting right. So it's wherever this, um, wherever the actual uh, values get set, which I believe is now in, not in, um, looks like I don't need this import, or either of these imports. All right, I believe that is in visualization. Oh yeah, here's where, yeah, and this is how we, yeah, we get our next available top. And okay, so I think, yeah, this is where it actually happens. The actual top and left get set here. And then set calculate positions, I believe, gets called on resize. I think that all gets set up in the component. Yeah, see, we do this animation, layout loop, platform, set events, platform service, animation service. Let's go to this one. I believe this one just reads. It's a read only. Yeah, see, and that's where we can say, okay, visualizations, this set position. And that's kind of hard to read. Oh, so yeah, we got into this weird. It is interesting that, you know, because I've seen people write code like this, and I've been like, oh man, what are they even thinking? But now I kind of see how I got here. I got here because I was writing unit tests. And this is where I get the hash. And then that's what'll know if something changed. But I'm more like concerned with where we set that. And I believe we manually set, well, no, I already had just found that. Back. Yeah, right here. So basically what I'm saying, if not manual placement, and what's our new service? We're probably not pulling it in yet. So we need to inject our application service, application model service. Let's come up to the top here. I think it's app model service. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably it. This, I think it automatically imported it for me. And so this is how we'll know if through this we'll know whether we were in what mode we're in, if we're in reflow mode or let's see. Okay, so right now we're saying only if it's manual placement equals top. And if you remember, I did say that I was either like, if we're reflowing, maybe I'll always update, even if it's, or maybe I'll only update the ones that haven't been changed. So like if you're working on, if you add a new one, it will get reset to the front. Now I don't even know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all works. Because I don't think this is going to be bug free. I think we're going to have a couple issues. Well, we definitely had some kind of console log issue, it looks like. Oh. So it's upset because, here, let's go ahead and put this on a new line. Okay. I'm just working my way backwards, but I'm pretty sure it's upset because I'm doing that import. I would love to understand this issue. I think it's upset because of this. Yeah. So it's upset because I pulled app model service in. And there's not a whole lot to app model service. And it doesn't get used in many places. And I don't know what to do, to be honest with you. So if I pull this guy in, get errors out. Let's go to that definition of that. I didn't even think this thing was being used anywhere. Let's see. Okay, there's where we created it. The app menu component uses it. The spec file uses it. It uses it, and visualizations uses it. But visualization service didn't work. So anything other than that is just literally the app menu components, the only thing that's pulling this in. Oh, but it's pulling in things. Like okay, all of these are just interfaces. The visualization service, it pulls in the what is it, does it use? So the idea of this was it was going to, I guess, let you edit visualizations. That was the whole reason this thing. So you could identify a visualization as being edited. But for some reason, pulling in the visualization server, I think anyways. Okay, so it's currently broken, right? Okay. So what if I just get, since I don't think I'm using these two anyways, and this is a perfect example of something that you set up and then, and I think I might have actually been maybe going down the path of doing that, but you set up ahead of time and you're like, okay, this is how it's going to work in the future, and then you get there and you can't make it work the way you had envisioned it, even though it made total sense at the time of the envisioning. I think that is one situation people just don't want to acknowledge, is that when you envision something, you may end up putting a ton of resources into something that when you get there isn't even feasible. I guess everything takes a balance. Okay, so we haven't just broke everything. All right, so now I can go back to here. Bring this back in. And then I guess just do something to sort of test whether this is doing what I'm hoping. Console log. And then we'll look for that to happen. And then we'll add one. Reflow is on. So we add another one. Reflow is on. That was wild. Let me add one, add another one. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's not even working right. Okay, so we found our next bug, and that's like when you add a second one. Well, okay, let's try that though without reflow on. Turn reflow off. Okay, so when reflow is on, it's not working right because we've got a bug that we could write up. When reflow is on, it's not working right because when I add visualizations, what was it I just saw? Oh, okay. With the reflow off, then it's working fine. The only problem with it, and I think it's working perfectly for reflow off because it's that's exactly what should happen when you resize if reflow is off. So at this point, the level of testing we're doing, reflow off is doing great. Now we probably, if we come in here and we delete, let's see, reflow off worked, and now if we add reflow, yeah, so I actually think reflow is off is working perfectly. Is exactly how we wanted it. So reflow on though, when we add one, what we would expect is to either get a new one here or a new one there. Either way is fine. But what we actually get is a whole bunch of them shift over. And that's not what we want. So we do have, and then I don't think it's resizing on resize. Oh, it is. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. So we, as far as I could tell, we only have one bug, and that's that when reflow is on and we add one, it doesn't quite add things up the way we want. Okay. So what's it doing? It's shifting. Okay, so basically we know reflow is on. So it looks like this next available top is probably all of that code is that everything should be, I guess, based on index at that point, not based on anything else other than the index. So the lowest index so we're gonna end up adding some weird. Okay, so we only come in here when reflow is on, is always, and manual placement, and it hasn't been placed already. And what happens if it's, oh, okay, so so when you first add one, manual placement hasn't been set, so that's why it gets in here. The second, it's always, so it gets in here. But this is what's right when reflow, okay, so basically this is working perfectly for when reflow is never, right? When reflow is never, this is working perfect. It's not quite working, but it basically it's not running if it's never and it hasn't been placed. When it's always, then I guess we have additional. So maybe instead of or, that should be an else if, because this seems to be working right. So else if. Like that. There we go. Okay, I think. Reset everybody. All visualizations. All right, so step one. Okay, visualizations are off, reload, reflow is off. So just make sure we haven't broken. And then come in here, delete one, come back over here, add. Yeah, so I think that's still working. This just leaves it as is. But now when reflow is on, then let's say we add one. But so what was happening before is we were shifting instead of add. Oh, so that's working perfectly. Yeah, so at this point we should recalculate on the resize event. Which I guess technically all I would have to do to cause that to happen maybe is go through every visualization and set it to manual equals false. And would that then cause, no, because I think this logic will still run. The get next available, and then it'll find what's available and all that. But we actually want it to like reset all of them. And we probably, it maybe if we reset all of them, that would work. Um, so I don't know. I guess that's what I'll try to do tomorrow. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Happy coding. Bye.